So I've got these two old aluminium panels still from our battery shelf we have built. These were the old back walls. And now instead of ordering new aluminium sheets, I want to reuse them for our, well, I would say Powerwall 2.1. For our battery 3.0, this one and the other Seplos battery over there on the workbench. I wanna build another little power wall down here. And I have already bought these two posts here and want to reuse one of these back walls here to cover the outside of the garage, similar to what we have up here. And because we are still doing do-it-yourself stuff here on the channel, but not as super hardcore as the battery shelf anymore, I have bought some other equipment we will use for this Powerwall 2.1. Hey, have you seen Average Joe's video about his Powerwall and battery shelf? I left a comment in his video and said, well, you cannot use these terms. They are solely being used in sunny hot Australia here. You have to come up with your own wording, man. I mean, what is he thinking? Because there's only one Powerwall and one battery shelf on this planet. But soon there will be a Powerwall 2.1. Let's get started. And welcome back to another video here from the Off-Grid Garage in sunny hot Australia. Springtime. We had rain for the last 28 hours or so. Now I think we are done. And the sun is coming back slowly. Look at this. Nice. Yeah, we already have 17 amps outside. We are getting there, we are getting there. So in today's video, I wanna build the Powerwall 2.1, so to speak. Put the two posts in and the aluminium sheet. And then we wanna start a bit of a different setup here for connecting our batteries to inverters and get the energy in and out. But I think it will fit perfectly our Seplos do-it-yourself batteries here. So do-it-yourself stuff, but still beginner friendly. And as you may remember, we have used these 50 by 50 square posts here. There you can see them. Just behind the aluminium sheet here to hold everything up. And this is basically now structural connected to the garage building. And I was going to order some more of these posts here to put them in this area here and have our aluminium sheet across. So I went to my usual local fencing and irrigation place here and bought two of these posts. Perfect, right? Until I saw the invoice of $77. I said, well, the last ones I bought, they were like $11, $13 for a pair, and now $77. I mean, at the moment, everything is getting more expensive, right? But, I mean, come on, right? And the guy who cut these posts for me put them actually in the vehicle because he's always asking questions about the Tesla. So he was keen to come to the vehicle again and ask some more questions. And he put them in the car for me. And when I unloaded them at home, I realized what is going on. Not sure if you can tell a difference here. But this is 5mm and this is like 2mm fence post, which is totally fine for what we would need it. But now I'm ending up with these super heavy 5mm massive galvanized steel posts here. But certainly when the guy asked me what dimensions I want, I said 5mm thick. Yeah. I don't know what got me there, but 5mm is massive. Yeah, $77 for two metal posts. Guys, donate generously. And I also have 4 angle brackets here, so we can mount these posts. And then this will be just a temporary setup. It's just to build the Powerwall 2.2, the Powerwall 2.1 with a battery 3.0. Gee. Who comes up with all these numbers? Eventually we have to find a professional solution to connect our Seplos batteries here to the rest of our battery shelf here. But for the moment I want to keep them separately to do more testing. There's still heaps to come. And I don't want to mess up my production installation here. So that's why we keep these two systems separate for the moment. It is so good to do something with your hands again. Producing and creating something in true do-it-yourself style. It is all straight and bombenfest. Well, you have to trust me on that. It is straight, relatively. Okay, it doesn't look too pretty with the holes in it, right? But we will cover this soon. This is where the whole new Powerwall DC distribution shunt situation goes over. Let me show you. Here we go. So we have our battery here, right? Battery 3.0 with extensions later on when they sort out the BMS issues. So we need to connect this somehow to our Powerwall. So we need some sort of DC bus or something where we connect the battery, connect our load, have switches and fuses and breakers in between. So pretty much a similar setup as we have here, where we have a shunt which measures the energy going in and out of the battery, a main breaker, a DC bus system where solar charge controllers and inverters connect to. And I found this 1000 amp bus bar online here, which comes with all the connections and a nice cover. So the whole bus bar sits in a case already. We don't need to design or build anything. It is already nice looking and very compact. Yeah, that's much better. Because we are now coming to the official part of the video. So some of you may have already recognized this part here, because this is a Victron LYNX power in module. You can see it here, 1000 amps. And now you would say, well, Andy, what are you doing? You're buying all this expensive gear again from Victron Energy here. And this is a do-it-yourself channel, right? Well, you can get this whole module here for less than 200 Australian dollars online, including shipping. And as you may remember, I already paid about $260 for my 4-meter bus bar, and we had to cut it, had to drill it, to tap it, to buy these screws separately, the standoffs, and had to do the whole design for it. And this one is already very conveniently put together for us, and it's basically ready to go. So how this works, you've got your positive and negative cable, and you lift these little isolators up, connect your negative first, and then the positive cable connects to your positive bus bar at the top. Then you've got both cables coming out at the bottom of the system, and everything looks neat and tidy. Well, you have to break these fins off here if you connect the cable to one of the bus bars. This is just to prevent from touching the bus bar from the outside. So, and then you can connect all kind of devices to this bus bar system. So a battery over here, a solar charge controller over here, another solar charge controller, and your inverter. And I found $200 here Australian is actually a very decent price for a 1000 amp bus bar. If you remember these bus bars here, which we have bought for our electrical cabinet we had at the beginning, yeah, these are like 150, 200 amp bus bars, and such a pair is already over $80 plus shipping. And you've got all these open contacts here, so you need to shield this somehow. Yeah, these little bus bars, they definitely need some work to make this all safe in your installation. So once you close this one here, it is actually completely sealed off at the top, so there's no way you can touch anything. I think it's a pretty good system for this price. If you need more of them, you can just daisy chain them together, as many as you want. So this LYNX power in module here replaces basically this whole bus bar situation here at the top, where our inverters are connected, our load and our solar charge controllers. That is this whole compartment up here already done. So we could mount this bus bar here in the top left corner already, and Then we can connect our battery and load. And then we can connect our battery and load to this DC system. So, and probably not as ideal as I said before. We can see there are no fuses, no switches inside. So if you connect your gear to these two bus bars, there's no fusing in between or something. So you still would need to have your external switches, breakers, fuses, external gear, which makes it actually messy again, right? Because you have to crimp your short cable connections from here to a switch to a breaker. So there's actually not much win using the LYNX Power In module. It still looks good though. So what you could use instead is the LYNX distributor. I cannot say this word. The LYNX Peter. And as you have just seen, this looks very there. It looks very much the same as the LYNX Power In. And you can see the immediate difference between the Power In and the distributor, the Peter. We have an electronic board here, a PCB, and also these additional screws or studs, which are missing in the Power In. And the two bolts are in this location because you can connect a mega fuse on each of these positions. And this electronic board does nothing else than monitoring your fuse. And in case one of the fuses blows, it will actually show a red light in this position, and you will also get a notification on the app as well as in the VIM. But you only get the app functionality if your distributor, your Peter, is connected to a LYNX Smart BMS from Victron. And this Smart BMS only talks to Victron Smart Batteries. How smart is that? So apart from these two functions, it is exactly the same as the LYNX Power In. $225, $340. So is it worth buying the LYNX Peter actually from Victron here? I would say 100% not. I mean, it's nice if there's a red light when one of your fuses is blown, but honestly, how often do you blow your fuses? So it gives you a bit of an advantage if you do troubleshooting or something is not working. But again, you get the app feature only if you have the Smart BMS from LYNX as well, which then needs the Victron Smart Batteries. And most people don't have that. And I'll show you a trick. So if we take the LYNX Power In here, and we take a screwdriver, take out these two screws, and these two down here, we can lift this plastic bracket up, and we can use 4 bolts M8 by 25 or 30 and place them in these grooves. And then we put our bracket back on. Using 4 washers. And 4 nuts. Again, 4 washers. 4 spring washers. And finally 4 more nuts. There you go. Fuse holder, fuse holder. So now you connect your positive to this bolt instead of over here and have your fuse in between. So we have basically converted the LYNX Power In into a LYNX distributor, just without the electronic, of course. So in case one of your fuses blows, there will be no light here. And of course there's no notification on the app either. But still, you now have the same safety functionality as with the LYNX distributor, just for a fraction of the price. So I found this hack online here. It's a very common hack to upgrade your Power In to a LYNX distributor. And if I would have known that before, I would have not bought this one because, yeah, well, it's just a waste of money for me because I don't have the LYNX Smart BMS. We are clearly not using the Victron Smart Batteries here. So there's no way I can use any of this functionality apart from getting a red light if one of the fuses blows. So unless you want this feature, I would not recommend buying this one. Buy this one, much cheaper, looks clean. 4 bolts, 8 washers, 8 nuts and 4 spring washers. And you almost have the same functionality as the more expensive distributor. So, and because we don't use any Victron smart batteries, but we still want to measure our own batteries here with these devices. Where's there a screw in here? We can actually use the LYNX shunt in between these two. So there, something like this, right? So look, with the covers on top, it is now the LYNX power in, provides us access for all our batteries. Then we've got the shunt in between, and the distributor connects to our inverters and solar charge controllers. And this is pretty much the same setup as we have over here in the battery shelf. So the vertical bus bar here at the end of the shelf is our power in, and then we have our smart shunt in between, and this bus bar is our LYNX distributor, where solar charge controllers and inverters and other loads connect. And let's have a look what's under the hood here. Oh, there's a bit more technology than in the other two. All right, what do we have? Main bus bar positive. Here goes our main fuse in for the whole system. We've got our negative bus bar down here with the shunt in between. And of course the electronic. And as you would expect it from this system, I need to remove this barrier. And then, of course, you have to remove these nuts before. But just for demonstration purposes, look at this. This all sticks together in one long row. Battery connection, BMS, solar charge controllers and inverters. And here in the smart shunt you can see the RJ10 sockets on both sides of the PCB. And this is to connect your distributor with power. There's actually a short cable included which connects this port here and then out there, coming in again to this port over here. And if you go to the far right side, there's another port. If you have more than one distributors, it goes from here all the way out into the next one and connects to the next PCB and connects all your distributors and connects all your PDAs with power. And this is all it does if you have only the smart shunt as we have here and not the smart BMS and the smart batteries from Victron. The smart shunt also has two VE CAN ports here, and also included are two terminals. Hang on. There are two terminators for your VE CAN bus, and you have to plug in one on each end. And the smart shunt also comes with this one here. I'm not 100% sure. I think this is a temperature. So you connect this one to your battery, and it also measures the temperature of your battery. That's a nice upgrade. And hang on, there's more. And it also has these two contacts here, which is a relay function on the PCB, which we can program. So voltage or temperature, state of charge, and some other functions we can program inside the smart shunt. And then here again, we can trigger a larger contactor, which then turns on our hot water pool pump or charges the vehicle or does any other functionality you want. So this is actually a pretty nice feature which my smart shunt doesn't have. So let's see if we can find something useful for that. And you also have to make sure that your incoming battery supply connection, come on, is on the left hand side of your smart shunt. Otherwise the state of charge is not calculated correctly. So battery input from here, smart shunt, and then load and solar charge controllers. So we are now installing the smart shunt. Washer, spring washer, nut. Do you know why they put copper spring washers in there? Everything else is stainless steel, but copper spring washers? No idea. And there's also a torque mentioned in the manual. I don't know it out of the top of my head. And now we should mount our LYNX PDA. Alright, and this is the whole installation. That took me now like 15 minutes, while the battery shelf took us like 6 months. And hey, just wait. Look at this. Look at this. How good does this look like? So look at this design, how clean that is. Then you can have a cable run, a cable duct right underneath here, and everything looks nice and clean. It is amazing. These three devices basically replacing all our top battery shelf here, including the front fuses, including the main breaker, including these breakers, including the main vertical bus bar. This is all included in these three devices. As I said, it took us like 6 months to build all this up, to design it, to manufacture it, to put everything together, and this is like 20 minutes now. It is insane. I can't finish this video. It is so loud. Man, finally the storm is over and we can continue our video. Okay, oh, there's another rumble. And all the dogs are here again because they are so scared. Okay, concentrate, Andy. The only thing this module doesn't have is a switch function to turn off a single battery bank. So usually if you have a server rack battery, they come with a breaker option and you can turn off your battery very quickly with this breaker. And in this case I would install a manual switch and connect it back to the bus bar. We can probably use this switch here, the 300 amp switch out of our battery 1.0, because I don't need this anymore, and I will take this out tomorrow, mount it in this area and link it back to the bus bar system. And this is pretty much the same functionality as we have here. We can just turn off one of the battery banks and it is completely dead now. Don't forget to turn it back on. So here the Victron LYNX system provides you with a similar, easy to set up, very beginner friendly way to have all your DC bus bars, your smart shunt, your fusing, everything in a very compact and nice way. So this whole system is very similar to the Seplos do-it-yourself kit, where all the components are included in the delivery and you just have to put everything together yourself. And look at this size, I mean, come on! These three modules would probably easily fit in my top battery shelf here. I have also received this parcel, because this is something we need for our battery 3.0 setup as well. And this one comes from the Off-Grid Power System, Delaware, Ohio. And one of my viewers, a very fine gentleman named Ed, has actually sponsored the content of this box here, and I very much appreciate this donation. So we will have a look at this content tomorrow, and I'm very keen to show you what's inside this box. Okay guys, so far this video from tonight. I'm really glad we have come this far with the new Powerwall and the setup. Well, it was very easy, right? And until the next video guys, you stay charged, stay safe, and thanks again for watching. See you then, bye bye.